The night didn't feel real. Crystal chandeliers glowed like stars fallen indoors, and laughter floated through the ballroom like warm music. For Daniel Carter, standing at the edge of the room in a borrowed suit, it felt like he had stepped into someone else's life. He had come for his daughter's sake, not his own, and he never expected one sentence to change everything. When the billionaire host lifted her glass and smiled, the room fell silent. "The couple with the longest kiss wins," she announced, playful and bold. Daniel's heart thudded. He turned to the woman beside him and whispered the question that would echo far beyond that night. "Do you want to try it?" Before we dive into this story, take a second to support the channel. If stories of kindness, hope, and unexpected connections move you, please subscribe, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps your channel name. Keep bringing heartfelt stories like this one to life. Daniel hadn't planned to attend the charity gala. Tickets were expensive, the dress code intimidating, and the guest list read like a magazine cover. But his 8-year-old daughter Lily had begged him. Her school counselor had mentioned the event's children's fund, and Lily had insisted that if they could help other kids, they should. Daniel worked 2 jobs since his wife passed away, and kindness was something he tried to practice in quiet ways, packing extra lunches to share, fixing neighbors' cars for free. He agreed, thinking they'd make a small donation and leave early. That's when they met Evelyn Ross. Evelyn was the billionaire hosting the gala. She was known for her sharp business sense and her soft spot for children's causes. She greeted guests personally, listening more than she spoke. When she stopped at Daniel and Lily's table, she crouched down to Lily's level and asked about her favorite books. Lily beamed. Daniel noticed something else. Evelyn didn't rush. She treated them like they mattered. Later, when the band began to play and couples drifted to the dance floor, Daniel stood awkwardly near the wall. He didn't dance anymore. The memory of holding his wife felt too close, too heavy. That's when he noticed a woman in a red dress standing alone, watching the dancers with a thoughtful expression. Her name was Claire. She was a volunteer coordinator for the charity, there to work, not to be seen. They exchanged small talk at first, how beautiful the room looked, how loud the band was. Then Claire mentioned she admired Daniel for coming with his daughter. Daniel shrugged and said, "She reminds me why kindness matters, even when life gets hard." When Evelyn announced the kissing contest, laughter rippled through the crowd. It was meant to be fun, a way to raise extra funds. Pledges would grow with every passing minute. Daniel looked around at confident couples, then at Claire. He almost laughed at himself. But then he thought about Lily, watching from their table with hopeful eyes. He thought about the kids the fund would help, so he asked. Claire hesitated for a heartbeat, then she smiled, a gentle, brave smile. "For the kids," she said. They joined the couples in the center of the room. As the countdown began, Daniel felt nervous, but something else too. A calm he hadn't felt in years. The kiss wasn't about romance at first. It was about standing up, about showing up, about choosing kindness even when it felt uncomfortable. Minutes passed. Couples dropped out, laughing and clapping. The room cheered louder as the pledges climbed. Daniel felt his legs shake, but he kept going. Claire squeezed his hand, steady and reassuring. When it was over, they stood alone. Applause thundered, and Evelyn announced they had won. But the real surprise came later. Evelyn invited Daniel and Claire to a quiet corner. She thanked them, not just for winning, but for the spirit they brought to the room. "You reminded everyone why we're here," she said. Then she asked Daniel about his life. He spoke honestly about losing his wife, raising Lily, working hard and hoping it was enough. Evelyn listened. She didn't interrupt. When he finished, she nodded. "Kindness," she said softly, "is a form of courage." That night, Evelyn made a donation in Daniel's wife's name to the children's fund. She also offered Daniel something he hadn't expected, a chance to apply for a program she sponsored, one that helped single parents with flexible work and education. No promises, she said, just an opportunity. Daniel went home overwhelmed. Lily hugged him tight and said she was proud. Claire texted to check if they'd made it home safely. A small thing, but it mattered. Weeks passed. Daniel applied, unsure if anything would come of it. He kept living his life, packing lunches, fixing cars, reading Lily bedtime stories. Claire and he met for coffee, then walks in the park. There was no rush, just kindness growing quietly. Then the email arrived. Daniel had been accepted. The program covered training for a better-paying job and childcare support. For the first time since his wife's death, Daniel felt like the future wasn't something to fear. At the program's graduation ceremony months later, Evelyn attended again. She watched Daniel accept his certificate, Lily cheering from the front row, Claire beside them. Afterward, Evelyn hugged Daniel and whispered, "This is what kindness can do." Daniel didn't become rich overnight. Life didn't turn perfect, but it turned hopeful. He paid it forward, mentoring another single parent, volunteering at Lily's school, donating time when money was tight. Claire became a steady presence in their lives, proof that love can return when you least expect it. And Evelyn? She continued to host galas, but she also started something new. Small dinners where people shared stories of kindness, no spotlight required. She said Daniel and Claire reminded her that generosity isn't just about money, it's about noticing people. Years later, Daniel would tell Lily about that night under the chandeliers. He'd say it wasn't the kiss that changed everything. It was the choice to try, the choice to be kind even when it felt risky. Because kindness has a way of echoing. It moves from one heart to another, growing louder, stronger. It turns ordinary moments into turning points. So if you ever find yourself on the edge of something unfamiliar, wondering whether to step forward, remember this story. Remember that kindness doesn't ask for perfection. It asks for courage. And sometimes, all it takes is one brave question to change a life, and maybe a few more along the way.